Ready?
Yep, do it.
All right. Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Shaba Andrich. I am proud to serve as the Vice President of the Nursing Home Division of our amazing union, SEIU Healthcare, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas. I'm honored to speak today for this historic event as workers all across the country, including here in Chicago and across Illinois, are preparing to take action and even strike for Black Lives on July 20th. Following our actions to demand PPE and hazard pay in the midst of the global pandemic in April and the unprecedented uprising of protests to defend Black lives at the start of the summer, tens and thousands of workers are declaring today that Black lives matter and health care too. The movement for Black lives is and must be about demanding major transformative and structural change and dismantling the systemic racism and completely ending it. Not just ending individual racism, but ending the systemic racism that keeps everything in place, and that includes challenging nursing homes such as this at the Villa of Windsor Park. The nursing home industry's pursuit of profit fuels poverty in neighborhoods like this in Chicago and across the country. It enables gross inequalities within the healthcare field for Black people and primarily for Black women. As Martin Luther King said, the injustice in healthcare is the most inhumane of all forms of injustice. So we need to make sure, as we're tackling injustice in the community, as we're tackling racism in the community, we're tackling institutional and structural racism here. And as I said, this industry marginalized predominantly women and predominantly Black women. And this system isn't broken. This system is made to do exactly what it's doing right now. It's made to take as much profit as possible at the expense of everyone else, at the expense of communities just like this. According to the Illinois Department of Public Health, there was a total of 23,604 total cases of COVID-19. 23,604. And of that, there have been 3,974 total deaths. 3,974. Now, nursing home workers are used to dealing with death. You're used to dealing with it, but not mass death like this. Not mass death. Say it again. I say it again. Nursing home workers are not used to dealing with mass death. They're not used to dealing with thousands and thousands of people dying. We're on pace to have close to 8,000 deaths of seniors in Illinois alone. And most of those seniors who are dying in nursing homes just like this. And so profit's a horrible thing. But there was a recent study from the University of Chicago that said that you were 3 times as likely to contract COVID if you work in a nursing home that's in an underserved neighborhood. 3 times more likely, and you're 2 times more likely to die if you contract COVID and you work at a nursing home like this in an underserved community. 2 times as likely to die. And how those numbers translate to this nursing home is that this nursing home has had 165 COVID reported deaths. 165, and of those residents and workers who've gotten it, 47 residents have died. 47 deaths in less than 6 months here at this nursing home. And so that's not something we should accept. That's not something we should be normal. That's something that we got to fight to change. And our union is committed to it. SEIU Healthcare is committed to fight it until it actually changes. And if we need to eliminate for-profit healthcare in order to make sure that this community gets the healthcare that it needs, then that's what we need to do, and that's what we will do. We're going to do whatever it takes by any means necessary to hold the nursing home industry accountable to the Black community. No more coming into our communities, taking all the money, not paying the workers and then taking your money off the top and running away and allowing how many 47 workers to die in a year out of greed, because that's all it is, and Villa is full of greed. Villa is one of the nursing homes that's full of greed. And workers in Detroit are fighting this horrible ownership group, Villa, too, right now for the same thing, making sure that they have proper protective equipment and making sure that they get paid what they deserve. No pay is good enough to die over. No pay is good enough for that. That's not what we're saying, but if you're going to come here and you're going to risk your life, it's not enough to say we're heroes. It's not enough to say we're essential, but teach us as expendable. It's not enough to say we're heroes, but treat us as hostage. We demand that the industry does something and do something different. More investment in communities like this. If you look at a nursing home in Chicago, a Villa home in Chicago, it looks like this. You look at a Villa home in a white community, it looks much better. They have better staffing, they have better pay. And that's because of race. And that's because of race, and it's about time we started calling it out for what it is. It's systemic, it's structural racism. We demand change. So, the other thing that needs to happen along this is that we need to make sure that we are demanding not just that these owners do better, but we're demanding better from the state. We need more resources to come into nursing homes in the black community. More resources need to come from Springfield and make their way here. Now, one of the things that our union and our coalition partner has been supporting is a fair tax. What a fair tax is, a fair tax means that you get to tax people who make less money less than people who make more. Just by doing that, we'll bring in billions of dollars into this, making sure that the owners of Villa, that some of that money that they take home, that they get to put back into the community through taxes for us to reinvest. And so on the ballot is going to be fair tax this year. It's going to be something that's going to be in the ballot in November. Everyone needs to go out. You need to vote for fair tax, because that's how we get the money that we need for our community, back in our community, so that we can rebuild. We need to hold companies responsible, and we also need to hold the government responsible. All right, and so last but not least, I'm going to end with words from the late Congressman John Lewis. The congressman, the revolutionary. People don't want to say that. People just think of him as a congressman, a civil rights leader, the fighter. He said that we need to have good and necessary trouble. And that's what we're committed to. That's what we're here for today. Good and necessary trouble. And we will continue to have good and necessary trouble as long as our communities are underserved, as long as black people are dying in nursing homes just like this, because owners continue to put profit ahead of everything else. We demand an end to the for-profit system. We demand more resources into nursing homes. We demand passage of fair tax. Thank you for that. And so next, I'm going to bring up our first speaker. You heard enough from me, an actual Francine Rico.